All right, let's manage file permissions and ownership by creating directories with different permissions. So to start off with, make sure you open up a terminal and log in as root. And the first thing we're going to do here is make a files directory. So we're going to go make dir, make dir files. And ls, and here we go, our files directory. We're going to change directory to files, cd files, and under files we're going to make two more directories. We'll do a private and a public. So mkdir priva private, dir private space public. So that'll create us two directories, a private and a public. And ls, and here we go. We got a private and a public directory. So you can just make multiple subdirectories just by doing make dir and then spacing each one out. Now we're going to change permissions on private by doing a chmod 700 private. And then we're going to change permissions on public by doing a chmod 777. Public. And then we'll do an ls-l, verify. And there's our directories here and the permissions they have. Now we're going to open up another terminal. And as your regular user, make this bigger. As your regular user now, I'm going to create another directory. Strike that last part. Okay, as a regular user now, I am going to change directory in the files. And I'm going to try and make a file in the private folder. So I'm going to do a touch private sys1 file. And I'm getting permission denied. I'm going to try the same thing in public. Arrow up, get rid of the private and put public. There we go. Then we'll do an ls on public. We can say that the file has been created in public. We do an ls on private. And can't, because I can't see it even. I don't have visibility. So now I'm going to change the public directory. cd public. And we'll do an lsl on sys file 1. Sys1 file. See the permissions obtained. And I say the user groups have read only. So we're next going to change the permission for the group on this file. Do in chmod g plus w comma o dash r sys1 file. We'll do an lsl. So we see that the permissions have been changed. The users group now has write permissions as well, and all others have no permissions. Next, we're going to create a SUSE2 user. We just deleted that in the last lab. We created and deleted it. We're going to recreate that. You can do GUI or command line, however you feel, and we'll go from there. Actually, let's do that together in Yast, because I need to do something else in Yast. So open up Yast and go to users, security and users, user and group management. Add a user, SUSE2. Give it a password. All right, still in the create user window. We're going to highlight user 2. We're going to hit edit. And we want to click on the details tab. And over here is the default group of users. We're going to change that to another group. We'll just pick male. And then say OK. OK again. We can close yes. So now we're going to have, I want to have 3 different terminals going here. One still logged in as root. One logged in as some dude or SUSE1 or wherever your regular user is. And then we're going to open up a new one and log in as the switch user to SUSE2. All right, so now we're going to go over to the one where we're logged in as root, and we're going to make their tmp/scratch. And then we're going to chmod 777 /temp/scratch. Now we're going to go to your regular user. It could be SUSE1, it could be some dude, whoever you want, whatever, who's still in the user group. Just don't do SUSE2. And we are going to actually, we're going to change directory in SUSE2 and SUSE1 or some dude or whatever your regular user is. So we're going to cd/temp scratch and cd/temp scratch. Now both users are in that directory. That's their working directory, is a temp scratch. So as your regular user, not SUSE2, I want you to copy, go to a cp/etc/fs tab ./test file. And then we're going to change the permissions by chmod. /644 test file. Now we're going to go to your SUSE2 user, and we're going to try and cat the test file. We'll do an LSL on test file. See the permissions that we have. And now we're going to try and rename it. So MV test file to changed file. So ls-l. So still a SUSE2, we are going to try and change to a chmod, change permissions. 600, change file. But I don't have permissions to change the permissions. So we try and remove it. And we want to remove it, ask tester say yes. And then we will do an ls, and we'll see that we can actually remove it. So we have permissions to remove it, just not change the permissions. Now we're going to kind of do that again with slightly different permissions. So go back to your regular user, still in the users group, and we are going to, you can just arrow up, and then you can copy the same file. And we're going to do chmod 640 on test file. 640 test file. We'll do an ls-l. Let's see the permissions. Then we're going to go back to the terminal with the SUSE2 user. And we'll try everything again. So we'll cat test file. I don't have permissions to even cat it. So we'll try move test file to changed file. But I did have permissions to do the move command on it. Now we'll try and change the permissions. Chmod 600. Not permitted. So as you can see, we give it slightly more restricted permissions. Feel free to play with the chmod command and give it even more restrictions if you want. I just want to show you, go over that a little bit on how to change permissions on directories and the effects that it's going to have on different users. So for now, we're going to go back to the root window, and we're going to just get rid of all that because we don't need that. So to remove everything, we are going to rm-r/tmp/scratch. And it's, oops. So we can go back to here to view it. Anyway, there's no scratch directory here. So yes. So we get rid of the scratch directory and everything under it. I hope this helps. Thanks for watching.